Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWAS. We're on the Monday Night Football for Week 9, Cardinals Cowboys. As far as Sunday, I had a profitable day, so that's positive. I felt like it could have been a great day. I feel like all three of my losses, first of all, you shouldn't do this. Like, you shouldn't play the I should have won game. You can't do that. That's a net negative. That's how you arrive at, if you think of what the sports betting world consists of, mostly everybody is losing, but everyone believes they're winning. That's pretty much what most sports bettors, that's what most of the sports betting universe is comprised of. People who are losing that believe they're winning. And how we arrive there, it's not that everyone's liars. It's that there's some psychological happenings when it comes to gambling, especially sports betting, where if you lose, but like you feel like you should have won in your head, you're like, oh, but I was right. But you don't play that same psychological game on a win where you should have lost. So you can't do that. Another thing is, if you have leans, if they win, you count it in your head as your record, like, oh, I went 4-1. But if they lost, you wouldn't have counted them. That's another psychological trick that your brain plays on you. So you shouldn't do the, oh, I should have won game. But I feel like Colts Steelers over 47.5 that closes at 51. It's a smash bet. The Colts put out an offensive performance that was so far below anything they've done this season, and it's still almost won. It still came down to the last second. The Texans, just some injury luck there. I think anybody who watched that game would agree that if CJ Stroud doesn't get hurt, Houston probably wins, but injuries are part of it. So just a little bit of misfortune there. And then what was the last one? Oh, the Jags Raiders under 44. It was 0-0 with like a minute left in the second quarter. 0-0. Somehow it flies over. 30-29 final score. It was just a shootout in the second half. So that was just more like a crazy sequence of events, not really bad luck. So yeah, I had a profitable day. Felt like it could have been a great one. Anyway, Arizona's on the road in Dallas. Monday Night Football. Let's do it. I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Cardinals Cowboys in Dallas. Things are not going well right now for Arizona. I was actually surprised to see this. They've been so competitive in these games that I was actually shocked to see they have lost 5 football games in a row. It doesn't feel like that, right? I mean, they've actually played pretty well. So I suppose let's give the Cardinals a little bit of credit. They're not playing poorly, but they've lost 5 consecutive football games. Look at the final scores. We're talking about a 1-point loss, a 3-point loss, a 1-point loss, a 4-point loss, a 4-point loss. So this team isn't playing poorly, but it's been a while since we've seen the Cardinals snag a win. This is a team that really needs a win here. Now, good news, they're playing the Cowboys, and you might be thinking, why is that good news? The Cowboys aren't bad. Well, Arizona has owned Dallas. They're 7-1 straight up, 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games against the Cowboys. Now, only 2 of those games had Kyler Murray at quarterback, but Kyler Murray is a career 2-0. Against the Cowboys. Both of those wins were on the road in Dallas. Now, that doesn't really matter because it does look like we're going to see Jacoby Brissett at quarterback again. I'm reading there's a chance Kyler Murray could be medically cleared for the game, but even if he is cleared, based on what I'm reading here, it looks like they're not going to start him. So I don't know if it's been 100% confirmed, but I'm pretty sure that Jacoby Brissett is going to start. Kyler Murray might be available to use throughout the game, but he's not fully back yet. Don't take my word on that. I'm pretty sure Jacoby Brissett is starting at quarterback in this game. The thing is, if you've watched the Cowboys play football this year, or I should say if you've watched the Cowboys defense play football, you know what? I should say if you've watched the Cowboys attempt to play defense this year, you might think that it doesn't even matter who's playing quarterback, and I can't even disagree with you. On paper, the Cowboys are the worst defense in the NFL. Dead last, 32nd in success rate. Dead last, 32nd in EPA per play. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. Look at their numbers from their last 5 games. They're allowing 31.6 points per game, 6.7 yards per play, success rate over 58%. This is next level terrible. Now, if it was just the Packers, okay, but I mean, you've got the Commanders on there, who, by the way, the Cowboys played well in the Washington game. Washington was moving the ball a little bit, though. You got the Jets in there. The Panthers are not a bad football team, but that's not an offense that should be lighting you up. You got Denver in there, a team who struggled offensively for most of the year. They averaged like 1 billion yards a play against the Cowboys. I think the Broncos had 11 plays of 10-plus yards in the game. Denver did whatever they wanted against this defense. So, I mean, I don't even think that's a hot take. I think based on what we've seen so far this year, the Cowboys do have the worst defense in the NFL, and I feel like anyone being objective would agree with that. In addition to playing terribly, they're also extremely injured. I mean, who's playing safety for this team? There's no Malik Hooker. There's no Donovan Wilson. They're also missing another safety. What's his name? 1 second. They're also missing another safety on top of that. There's another safety here, Elijah Clark. He's been ruled out. There's another safety that's supposed to be starting. His name's Wanye Thomas. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. He's listed as questionable. Who's playing safety for this team? There's no Trayvon Diggs. They're also cooked at linebacker. In addition to being a terrible defense, they're also really injured right now. Now, Arizona has some injury concerns on the offensive side themselves. I'm not just going to pretend like everything's awesome for the Cardinals offense. This is a team that wants to run the ball. They're missing their entire RB room, in addition to their starting quarterback being out, or being questionable, I should say. But I mean, based on what we've seen from the Cowboys defense, you'd have to think the Cardinals coming off a bye week with an extra week to prep, you'd have to think the Cardinals can move the football in this game. But in my opinion, the question is not whether or not the Cardinals are going to be able to move the ball. I mean, anyone who's watched the Cowboys play football so far this year would probably agree that the Cardinals are going to be able to move the ball. That's not the question. The question is, can they keep up? Because Dallas offensively looks elite. On the season, they're 6th in success rate, 4th in EPA per play. Now, the Cardinals defense is slightly healthier here. Mac Wilson, the linebacker, he was banged up. He's good to go. Darius Robinson missed a game, or maybe it might have been 2 games that he's missed, but he's not even on the injury report anymore. There's another guy that was on here. The corner, Will Johnson, the corner from Michigan. He's their 4th corner. He's not pictured on the graphic. He missed some time. He's listed as questionable. I think he's going to be back. So the Cardinals defense is slightly healthier, but it's still tough to envision this Cardinals defense, even coming off a bye week, going on the road and slowing down this Cowboys offense. I mean, first of all, Cowboys offensive line is finally healthy. They've been doing all this, lighting up the scoreboard with a hobbled offensive line. Their center, the guy from Kansas State, Cooper Beebe, he's set to come off the IR for this one. Tyler Smith, Tyler Guyton, Tyler Booker, they've all dealt with injuries this year. None of them on the injury report. So the Cowboys offensive line finally healthy. They're also healthy at wide receiver, as I'm sure you've heard. CeeDee Lamb missed some time. Jalen Tolbert missed some time. So this Cowboys offense is healthier right now than it has been all season. Arizona hasn't shown much of a pass rush. You're going to give Dak Prescott clean pockets to throw from with a healthy CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and Jake Ferguson out there against a Cardinals secondary that's extremely thin at corner, a Cardinals secondary that's been playing this entire season without their top 3 corners. I mean, how can we expect the Arizona defense to make stops in this game? Not to mention, it's on the road in Jerry World. The Cowboys offense has been going nuts in this building. They're averaging over 41 points per game at home this year, 6.6 yards per play, almost a 52% success rate. So in addition to all that, they're on the road in a building where the Cowboys just seem to be putting up 45 points every single game. Keep in mind, this is also a Cardinals defense that seems to be trending in the wrong direction. If you remember early in the season, the Cardinals were actually playing some decent defense. Through their first 3 games, they were allowing 5.3 yards per play, just 17 points per game. It was like, okay, this new Cardinals defensive line is working. They're actually playing some decent defense. It was against the Saints, the Panthers, the 49ers. Now that they're seeing some tougher competition later in the season, the Seahawks, the Titans, but the Colts and the Packers, they're allowing 25.8 points per game, 6.1 yards per play, success rate at 52%. They're really struggling to get off the field. And yeah, the Seahawks, the Colts, the Packers, those are some elite opponents. But the Cowboys offense in Dallas might be more effective than all of those units. Maybe not the Colts. Well, actually, the Colts started a little bit earlier today. But yeah, the Cowboys offense in Dallas, in terms of just the offense, I would put that up next to any offense in the NFL. I'm really not seeing on paper how the Cardinals defense keeps Dallas from scoring 35 plus points in this game. Like I said, they're averaging over 41 points per game at home. So based on everything we've seen so far this year, you'd have to think the Cowboys offense is going to score a lot of points in the game. I mean, football games are not played on paper, as we've learned several times this year, and it does kind of remind me of the 2023 game. The Cowboys fans are definitely going to remember this one. Josh Dobbs was at quarterback. The Cowboys started off the season. They beat the Giants 40-0, the Jets 30-10. Dak Prescott looked elite. Cowboys were looking like one of the strongest teams in the NFC at the time. Then they lose outright to Josh Dobbs. So it does kind of remind me of that. I mean, the Cowboys are lighting it up. This is slightly different because at the time, no one perceived the Cardinals to be good. You can see this line's at 3.5. The market is respecting the Cardinals right now. So not quite the same situation. Personally, I think the line's a little bit disrespectful. I understand the Cardinals are competitive, but in Dallas, this should be at least 4.5. So the fact that I can get a flat 3, minus 115 seems like a really affordable price for Dallas at a flat 3. As far as the total goes, you would think it would be an over, right? I mean, the Cowboys against the Cardinals defense at home when they're averaging over 41 points per game. Cowboys defense is terrible. Cardinals should be able to score right back. So you would think it'd be a blind over, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. The pushback on an over in this one, the way I expect Arizona to play, they're going to run the ball. Arizona, in my opinion, knows that if they get into a shootout against the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T, they're most likely going to lose. I would imagine the Cardinals' path to an upset win here is holding onto the ball for 8-9 minutes at a time. So I would imagine what we'll see from the Cardinals offensively, they're going to run the football and they're going to hold on to the ball as long as possible. So I think the Cardinals will be actively trying to limit possessions and slow this game down as best they could. So that's my pushback on an over, plus 53.5. That's a big number. So I actually wouldn't hate an under. Give me Dallas minus 3, minus 115. I might bet it, but I'm not. Clearly, there's some people betting this down. They're taking Arizona at 3.5. So yeah, give me Dallas minus 3. I might bet it, but probably just doing some gambling. Also, give me an under. I see a flat 54. I might bet these both for fun. Dallas minus 3, under 54. Thanks for watching. We've got college basketball live stream starting. College basketball starts on Monday. So by the time you're watching this, this is opening day for college basketball. The baseball guys, TV Jones, Toe Spoon, they're all big college basketball guys. So we're going to try to do 7 streams at night. Probably be more like 5 or 6. But yeah, we'll be live at midnight talking college basketball. If you're able to make it, love to see you in the comments. Yeah, bet responsibly. Talk to y'all tomorrow.